the return of the free. And so it feels super good to be here at this return. And it feels super good to be moving through this sphere and to be supported by so many people. All of the conversations that have happened have been life-giving. I've really been a reflection of this whole entire process. I've learned that the process is more important than the final product. I wouldn't trade the tears in the studio sessions. I wouldn't trade the tears in the process of moving through rough patches and friendships. I wouldn't take back any of these moments. The car rides, the moments of doubt, the moments of fear. I wouldn't take any of these moments back, because this was a big moment and pivotal moment in my life to show that I am an artist. And this is the return of the free. This is a return to the fearless artist that I was when I was young. This is a return to the curiosity. This is a return to the joy. This is a return to the playfulness. And not only because it's always been present, so it is a return. It's a return to fearlessly and boldly and having the audacity to do those things out loud. This is a return. I am free. And this is the return of the free. You know, it'd be days I come down here and like really me rapping my music to the water, you know, on late nights or early mornings. It's really like the water is like my ultimate, you know, audience. It's like me getting it out to the universe, and me getting it out to the world, and me getting it out to God. Like, so here it is. Like, you are my only, like, you know, fan. You are, I mean, the fan that means the most. Because when I create, when I make things, when I work on things, when I am in artist mode, it's really in an effort to like move towards my highest self. It's in an effort to grow. It's in an effort to die empty, as you know, one of the homies said.
Alright.
What's happening?
Out here on this beautiful summer day.
That's facts.
With Jita. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about you.
Word.
Yeah.
My name is Chris Jeter, also known as ID. A lot of people don't know that. And ID stands for Intelligent Design, and that was a name that I like kind of I deemed, or I knighted myself with, like in middle school, you know, as my rap name.
Okay.
Or as my creative name now, and Intelligent Design. And that's who I am. I'm a creative, I'm a writer, rapper. Sometimes I dabble in singing. I love all things art. And you know, just like even with you, like as we morph our artistic journeys, dabbling into collage work. But overall, like I really feel that everything that I've done creatively is always about telling a story. And that's why we're here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's always about telling a story. You mentioned that, you know, this ID came from when you was in middle school. You know, like, what did that kind of, what did that evolution kind of look like? You know, from middle school ID to, you know, 2021 ID. You know, what did that
That's
what did
a
that
good
look like?
question. So middle school ID was really me tapping into like my prowess as a writer. From 8th grade, I had my English teacher, Mr. White, tell me like, yo, you are a really good writer, and to have a black man tell me like,
Oh, wow.
yo, you're a really good writer, tap into that. And I was a big fan of Kanye West and all of those things. And so over the time, like went from a poet to a rapper, which I was always a rapper. I was writing since like 3rd grade, like from inspiration of my uncle. And inspiration of my uncles, like one of my uncles was the person who gave us the CDs of like old school hip hop artists and rappers of our time. And my other uncle was an actual rapper who had cassette tapes that I would play back all the time.
Yeah.
And me and my brother would rap, and my sister would write. And you know, so like it was just a family of people who really loved music. And so to morph from elementary school ID to middle school, when I found my name ID, to high school where I would perform with my homie Banks, and we had a rap group, and to college ID, that was like, the college ID was the person who began to scale back. And I really feel like that's what this project is about. It's about, you know, the journey of like me scaling back in terms of like really sharing my gifts, and in terms of being a writer, like here and there I would share. And that really started in college, which leads into the 2021 ID. 2021 ID is really the person that's the ID that's like, yo, I'm sharing my gifts and talents with the world. Because in college and thereafter, I began to close up more and more and more, writing and creativity with things that I would just do in silo. I would only do by myself. I wouldn't share with the world for fear of critique, for fear of being different, because I knew the ways in which I wrote, I knew the topics and things that I talked about, I knew the things that I wanted to share were different than what a normal dude from downtown Newport News would really write about.
Wow.
So moving through all of that in my life, we get to 2021 ID, who is like, return of the free. Return of that elementary, middle, and high school ID. It was a return to that. It's a return to that.
Yo, and we chopped it up about return.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like
yes.
we chopped it
return.
up about return. You know what I mean? Going back to who we always were.
Yep.
You know? Tell me a little bit about like, you know, the project. Like what inspired the project?